Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the 2018 Nova Scotia Volleyball Championships here at the Canada Game Centre in Halifax, Nova Scotia. This is it, folks, your last game of Championship Sunday, and it is the 18U boys gold medal matchup between the Tigers and the Tide. This is going to be an exciting game, so buckle up. Let's get ready to go. Both of the sides are going to have their lineups checked by the down official, Alan Rendell, and then we are going to be on our way. Back to serve to start us off here is Tigers number 8. This is Jowdry. Jump float. And that ball's passed up by Lily. Set out to the left. And wiping it off the block is number 7, Tides McEachran. Back to serve, here's Doucette. That ball's passed up, set to the left. And there's Arsenault with the swing. That one just finding the outside of the line of the court. That ball out of bounds. Point going to Tide. Jump float. That ball's passed up. And trying to be a little too aggressive on that party ball, or 2 Tide players. That's going to be a Tigers point. Serving the ball here is Arsenault. Spin serve, and that one is going to fly out of bounds. A little bit of a missed contact on that one. No spin on that spin serve. That's going to be a true Tide point. McEachran serving the ball. Passed up by Reardon. Set to the left. There's Boyd high off of hands. And from the right side, a huge high swing from Vickers. Back to serve here is number 7, McEachran. Jump float. Reardon with the pass. Set out left to Boyd. Boyd with a tip. It is thrown down by Vickers. Tigers trying to save it, but that is a big block from Tide. 5 serving 1 here in the early goings of this first set. Back to serve. Here is McEachran. Jump float. That one going into the top of the tape. Point going to the Tigers. Serving the ball here is McNeil. Jump float. That ball is passed up. Set to the right. High off of hands. A good try and save there from the Tigers, but once again, unstoppable is Vickers from the right side. Back on the line to serve for Tide. This is Barry. Jump float. That ball's passed up. Set to the left. Boyd hitting that one into the top of the tape, and that is going to be a point for Tide. Serving the ball here is Barry. Jump float. Reardon with the pass. Set out to the left. Boyd beating the blockers, and that is a Tigers kill. Back on the line to serve here now is your setter, Euler. Jump float. That ball's passed up and over, picked up by Boyd. Euler sending it out to the left. And a big swing cross court handled by the Tide's defense. Free ball over Arsenault with the free ball pass. Right side to Jowdry, and another big dig. Tied, but a block from the Tigers. What a rally. Reardon. Jowdry. Reardon. And Tigers trying to save that ball, but that block is going to score for the Tide. Wow, incredible volleyball here at the Canada Games Center. The crowd is going wild. That's a Tide point. 8 serving 3. Back to serve here is Vickers. Arsenault with the pass. Set to the left. Jowdry cross court, and that is going to paint the line. Point going to the Tigers. Back to serve here is Boyd. Jump float. That ball's passed up. Set to the left. Lily with the tip. And it looks like there is no touch on the ball from the blockers there. 4 contacts called. That is going to be a Tigers point. And heading back to serve here now is left side hitter Boyd. Jump float. That one's going to go into the top of the tape, and that is a point for Tide. Heading back to serve for them now is Lily. Jump float. That ball's passed up. A nice save there from Euler, but that free ball put over out of bounds. Tough play there on the Tigers. That's going to put Tide into the double digits. 10 serving 5. Lily back to serve. Jump float. Arsenault with the first contact. Reardon trying to bring it back. Jowdry is going to put it over. That ball set out to the left, and it is a double contact call on that set. That is going to be a point for the Tigers. Back to serve. Here is Alain. Jump float. That ball's passed up, set to the right. A big block there from the Tigers. Roll off of hands. Boyd's going to get the dig. Arsenault hitting it high off the hands of Doucette. That is going to be a Tigers kill. Back to serve once again. Here is Alain. And that ball sailing out of bounds. Point Tide. Back on the line here now is Galley. Jump float. Passed up by Boyd. Set to the right. Jowdry with the roll. And there's a big swing outside of the blocker's hand. Kill for McEachern. Back to serve. Here's Galley. Jump float. That ball's passed up. Set to the middle, and a swing high off of hands. Kill from McNeil. Back to serve. Here's Jowdry. Jump float. First contact by Tide is up. And there is a swing from McEachern. Free ball from Arsenault dribbling over the tape. And we are going to see a double contact call there on the Tide. That is a point for the Tigers. Serving the ball is Jowdry. Jump float. Passed up by McEachern. Set to the back row, Vickers. And that touch by Boyd too far away for the Tigers to bring it back. That's going to be a point for Tide. Serving the ball here is Doucette. A nice save from Reardon. Free ball over. Vickers blocked on the 60. He's going to get the ball again. Another block there from the Tigers. Third time. He's going to go with the tip. It's picked up by Euler. Arsenault with the big rip. And a good try covering that ball there from the Tigers. But that one is going to find the floor off the block. Point going to Tide. Heading back to serve here is Doucette for Tide. But before we see that happening, we are going to get a timeout called by head coach Paul Richer for the Tigers. Both teams back on the court. 14-9 here in the first set of this gold medal match. Back to serve for Tide is Doucette. Jump float. Passed up by Boyd. Set out to Arsenault, and Arsenault is going to beat it through the Tide block. Point Tigers. Arsenault back to serve. Spin serve. Tide with the first contact. Vickers bringing it back. McEachern with a swing cross court. Arsenault with the pipe tip. That one just hitting the top of the tape, and that is going to be a point for Tide. Back to serve here. McEachern for Tide. Jump float, and it is going to drop right in front of the libero for the Tigers. Service ace. Serving the ball here, McEachern. That ball is passed up, set out to the left. And it looks like we are going to see a double contact call on that second contact for the Tigers. Still serving the ball here is McEachern. Jump float. Passed up by Peltier. And a swing into the deep corner of the court by Boyd is going to score for the Tigers. And that is going to put McNeil back on the line. Jump float passed up by the hands of Adams. Swing from the left side, saved and dumped over by Euler. Big swing from the left side, but once again, the Tigers defense getting a touch on it. Vickers with the tip down the line, and it is going to land out of bounds. Tigers point. Back serving the ball here again for the Tigers is McNeil. 12 serving 17. Jump float. That one going into the top of the tape. That is going to be a Tide point. Serving the ball here for Tide is Barry. Jump float. That ball's passed up, saved by Boyd. Free ball over from the Tigers. Passed by Galley. He's going to get that set back, and he is going to throw that ball down to 5-6 seam. A big swing from the middle, and that is a tied point. And we are going to see a timeout called here by the Tigers coaching staff. Both teams back on the court. 19 serving, 12 here, tied with the serve. This is number 4. Barry with the serve. Jump float, passed up. Set to the left. Boyd hitting it high off the blocker's hands, and that is a Tigers kill. Back to serve here for the Tigers now is the setter, Euler. And we'll see Jadri coming back into the match here. Jump float. That ball is passed up. Set to the middle, and that ball is going to land inside the court. That is a point for Tide. Tide now in the 20 zone, 20 serving 13. Back to serve is Vickers. That ball's passed up. Set to the right. Boyd taking a tug on it. No touch called by the linesman on that one. And that is going to be a tied point. Vickers with the serve. Spin serve. That one's going to land out of bounds, and that is going to be a Tigers point. Back to serve is Boyd. Jump float. That ball is passed up. Set to the left. A huge swing, but an even bigger block. That is Alain and Jowdry putting up a wall there on that swing. Boyd back to serve. Jump float. That ball passed up by McEachern, tipped over. Euler getting a set on it. Covered by the Tigers. Set left again. Arsenault taking a rip. And that first contact is going to put it out of bounds for Tide. Tigers staying alive here, 16 serving 21. Boyd on the line. Jump float. That ball set to the back row. A huge block there from Arsenault, pumping up the Tigers. Still on the service line for the Tigers is Boyd. That ball's passed up by McEachern. And a big swing from Tide off of the blocker's hands and out of bounds, and a net violation called on the Tigers. That is a tied point. Back to serve is Lily for Tide, 22 serving 17. Jump float. That ball's passed up. Euler trying to chase it down, but can't get there in time. Tied service ace, 23-17. Jump float. Arsenault with the pass. That ball set out left to him. He's going to hit high off hands. Dug up by the libero for Tide. Pushed out left. And a tip, and a tricky tip it is by McEachern to get that score, 24-17. And here is Tide going back to the line to try and close out this first set. Back to serve is Lily. And it's going to touch the Tigers passers. Service ace for Tide. They're going to take that first set, 25-17. Folks, don't go anywhere. The teams are going to switch sides, and we'll be right back with the second set. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the 2018 Nova Scotia Volleyball Provincial Championships. It is your gold medal matchup here between Tide and Tigers, and Tide took that first set. It is a gold medal on the line here between these 18U boys teams. And starting us off with a serve here is Galley. That ball's passed up. Set to the middle, picked up by Vickers on defense. Swing high off hands. Reardon with a great dig. Free ball over. Vickers. And there is a swing from the middle. That is a kill from Sangster to start us off. Tied on the board with 1 point. Heading back to serve, here is Galley. Jump float, out of bounds, point Tigers. Serving the ball here is Arsenault for the Tigers. Spin serve. Picked up by Adams, but that second contact call as a double contact by the head referee, Matt Hartland. That's going to be a Tigers point. Back to serve again here is Arsenault. Spin serve. That one's going to go into the top of the tape, and it is going to be a tied point. All tied up at 2s. Back to serve here is Doucette. Jump float. Passed up. And there is a big block there from the Tigers on Vickers' party ball. McNeil back to serve. That ball's passed up, set to the left. A huge swing down the line. Lefty on the left side, bouncing that ball by Vickers, and he is going to get the Tide squad pumped up for that one. Serving the ball here is McEachern. Jump float, that ball's passed up. Set to the left. Reardon trying to get a cover. That's a great touch, but unfortunately not high enough for a second contact. That's going to be a tied point. Back to serve for Tide once again. Here is McEachern. Jump float. That ball is passed up. Free ball from Arsenault. Picked up by McEachern. A quick 60 back to Vickers, but the blockers are there to stop it. Tigers point. 4-4 here. Serving the ball is Euler. Jump float. That ball's passed up. And trying to save that ball is the Tide setter, but the Tigers are going to put it away. Euler with the serve here for the Tigers. Jump float. That ball's passed up. Set to the left. And that is a smart play there from Lilly, hitting it off the hands and out of bounds. Back to serve here now is Sangster. That ball's passed up, set to the left. Jowdry with a big swing, but an even bigger block by Vickers and Galley. Tide point. Sangster back to serve. Jump float. That ball's passed up, set to the right. Boyd from the right, beating it through the seam of the block, and that is going to be a point for the Tigers. Back to serve is Boyd. Jump float. That ball's passed up. Set to the right. Vickers down the line, and he is going to beat it through the blockers. Point going to Tide. Back to serve is Vickers. Reardon with the first contact. Oilers setting it out to the left. Arsenault taking a tug on it. That ball lands out of bounds. A good dip, duck, and dodge by the Tide defense. And that is going to be a Tide point. Vickers back to serve. Jump float. Passed up by Arsenault. Set out left. High off of hands, and a good try there from Vickers, but that's a big swing. Tigers kill. We're going to see a substitution coming into the match. Here is Peltier. Peltier back to serve. Jump float. And that ball's passed up by Adams. Set to the left, hit high off hands. Tigers defense keeping it alive. And just about to put that over is Peltier. A great hustle play from the Tigers. That's a Tides point. Lily back to serve. And that is a service ace. Back to serve again. Here's Lily. Jump float. Boyd with the first contact. Oilers going to chase it down. Arsenault with the roll. Dug up by Adams. A set to the left. Tip. Chowdhury getting the first contact, but it is going to be called as a carry. A nice job there by the Tide hitter. And it is still going to be a Tide serve here, 11 serving 7. Lily with the serve, jump float. Arsenault getting a touch on it, picked up by the hands of Adams. You set out left and swinging it past the blockers is McEachern. Tide pulling away a little bit here, 12-7. And as they do, we are going to see a timeout called by the Tigers side. Both teams back on the court here. Serving the ball for Tide still is Lily. 12 serving 7. Jump float. Arsenault with the pass. Set out left to him. He's going to roll it to the pot. A good touch there from McEachern, but not enough for a second contact. That's a Tigers point. Back to serve is Chowdhury. Jump float. And that ball's passed up. Set to the left. McEachern into the block, covered by Tide. McEachern again, this time high off hands, picked up by the Tigers defense. Arsenault with the free ball. Vickers out left to McEachern. He's going to take a tug on it, but miss the hands of the Tigers block, and that's going to be a Tigers point. 9 serving 12. Chowdhury on the line. Jump float. McEachern with the pass. Set out left to him. He's going to roll it off the Tigers blocker's hand, and that is going to be a Tide point. 13-9 here in the second set. Tide did take the first one. Heading back to serve here is Galley. That ball set to the middle. This time another middle run for Tide. Tigers keeping it alive, putting a free ball over. Vickers with the pass. Set to the middle again. There's a tip picked up by Peltier. Out left to Arsenault. He's trying to roll it down the line, and it is going to go out of bounds. Nice defense from both sides. But that's a Tide point, 14-9. Serving the ball here is Galley. That ball's up and over. Set out to the left. McEachern with a huge swing down the line. Tide kill. Back to serve. Here's Galley. Jump float. Boyd with the pass. Set out left to Arsenault. A triple block. And Tide is going to put that ball down. Tide getting fired up here as they pull away 16-9. Serving the ball is Galley. That ball passed up by Arsenault. Euler setting it to the right side. Jowdry with the free ball. McEachern on the left, and he's going to find the corner, and Tide can do no wrong. Everything they touch turns to gold. 17-9 here in the second set. Tide is up 1-0. Both teams are back on the court. Serving the ball here again for Tide is Galley. Jump float, passed up by Boyd, set out to Arsenault on the left. And a touch there from Sangster, but Tigers hitter is gonna beat it through the block, and they're gonna get into the double digits now. Arsenault back to serve. Spin serve, passed up by McEachern. A joust at the net, but Boyd is going to win that one against the Tide setter. Doucette, Tigers point. Arsenault with the serve. Spin serve, passed up by Lily. Set out left to McEachern, and McEachern is just going to spin it off of Euler's hands. Huge offense from McEachern. And heading back to serve now, here is your setter, Doucette. Jump float. That ball's passed up, set to the left. Boyd with the big swing. That one just hitting the top of the tape, and that is a Tide point. 19 serving 11, back to serve. Here is Doucette. Jump float. Boyd with the pass. Euler left to Boyd. He's going to go cross court, picked up by the hands of Adams. Vickers from the right, dug up by Arsenault. Free ball over from the Tigers. Lily with the first contact. Set in the middle, and turning it to one is Sangster. (20 serving 11 here. Doucette back to serve for Tide. Jump float. Boyd with the first contact. Euler's going to save it. Jowdry trying to get it over, and it hits the top of the antenna, and that is a tied point. Tough serves coming in here from the setter. Doucette with the serve. Jump float. Passed up. Set in the middle. A tip over. And a big swing from the right, but that one is going to go out of bounds. Tigers point. Serving the ball again, here's McNeil for the Tigers. And it looks like we're going to get a substitution coming back into the match here for the Tigers as Alain front row. McNeil with the jump float. Adams with the pass. Set right side to McEachern, and he is going to throw that ball down. McEachern, probably 100% kill efficiency right now here for the Tide in this provincial final, and he's going to head back to serve. Jump float. And that ball is going to land out of bounds. A good dip, duck, and dodge from Reardon. And that is going to be a Tigers point. 13 serving 22 here. Back to serve is Euler. Jump float. Lilly with the pass. Set to the right. Vickers high off of hands. Reardon chasing it down and bringing it back in. Tide still playing it and dumping it over is the Tide setter. They looked like they weren't sure about playing that, but making sure that it hit the floor was the Tide setter Doucette. So no matter what, it's their point. 23-13. Back to serve here is Sangster. Jump float. Reardon with the pass. Set to the right. Boyd putting it down with some nice topspin, and that is going to get Reardon and the Tigers fired up. Boyd back to serve now. Jump float. That ball's passed up and over. Oilers going to take the first. Set to the right. Jowdry with the free ball. Vickers with the roll, picked up by Euler. And we are going to see a double contact call there on Reardon. 24-14 here. Tide looking to put this last one away. And a lot of hard work on the court. That ball just needs to be wiped off from all the sweat particles on it. 24-14, potential game, set, and gold here for Tide. Back to serve is Vickers. Spin serve. That one's going to go out of bounds. Tigers still in it to win it. Back to serve. Here is number 7. This is Alain. Jump float. McEachern with the pass. Set to the left. Lilly off of hands. And there you have it, folks. Tide. Gold medal match. They are the winners of this 18U Boys Provincial Championship. Congratulations to all of the teams that participated and the Tide right now on the screen in front of you. Well, folks, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for tuning in to TV1. It has been a pleasure calling the Nova Scotia Volleyball Provincial Championships this weekend and last weekend. We're so happy to be here. We hope you enjoyed everything. Have a wonderful rest of your Sunday evening.